Wow, if you've ever been told you're too much or you're too big in your energy, then this coaching session is for you. We unpack Sarah's love for life. She experienced being a perfectionist growing up. She was put pressure on by her family, by her parents to perform. It was performative love. She didn't know who she was. She had to wear so many masks. She contorted herself. She was someone that she didn't really want to be. She had to get the straight A's. She had to be perfect in everything she did, and she lost herself in that. Now that, coupled with growing up with parents that were cold, that were distant, that were loveless in their marriage, and her witnessing that. No, instead of becoming that herself, she took another direction. She opened up her heart. She became big in her love. She saw people in ways that people couldn't see themselves. She's an empath. She feels really big. But it's come at a challenge as well. If any of that relates to you, this coaching session is for you to observe. Remember, we learn through osmosis, right? We learn through being relational. We're human beings on a journey that is so similar. We're far more connected and similar than we are different. And if this resonates with you, then please keep watching and watch how we arrive at a place that is really special for Sarah, where she can still be herself, where she's learning to accept more of herself and trusting the love and the big heart that she has to be in the world. And yes, she's looking for a long-term, safe, committed partnership. And she's also been berating herself for not having that, quote unquote, having that just yet, making herself wrong, as if there's something wrong with her. She's not broken, and neither are you. And so if you are on this track where you feel you've been broken in relationship and life, and you're constantly making it about you, like something's wrong with you, you may be missing something. You may not be connecting to that big, beautiful heart that is yours. Keep watching. This is a powerful session that we explore. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Like this, share this with someone that needs to receive this message today, and I'll see you on the other side. Sarah, it's wonderful to have you with us today. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And let's just do a breath. Maybe a long, slow breath before we start. So maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable enough to do so. Take a long breath in through your nose, nice and slow. I'm going to hold at the top for a moment. Relax your shoulders, soften your belly and your frontal plane. Exhale with a sigh. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. Come back to the space. All of you is welcome here today. And so how can I support you in these moments?
Thank you. Yeah, I guess. First of all, I did want to thank you as well. I was thinking about it this morning. And honestly, I'm very into energy and spirituality and all that sort of stuff. And I was just like, oh wow, and I've followed you for quite some time now. So just to be able to share space with grounded masculine, that is support already. So thank you for sharing your energy with me. It's very stable.
Yeah, bless you. Bless you. I have a feeling that's probably one of the things we may explore today. But thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you really being here. Takes a lot of courage. Take your time.
Okay. I mean, for as self-aware as I think I am, I've never actually done any sort of formal therapy or coaching or any sort of thing like that. So I mean, I don't really know exactly.
Well, I'll help you. That's why
Okay.
that's why I'm here. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if you were to look at the scope of your life, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you were to look at, your key relationships, your vocation, your interests, your health, your wellness, your inner talk, your inner speak, right, the things that you're attracted to, what would you say is one of the biggest challenges, pain points, or curiosities you have about yourself and your life in these moments?
I think for me, the biggest, I guess it is a curiosity. I think actually, yeah. I always wonder why certain things seem to repeat themselves, right? And I ask myself
Choose the one that's most prominent for you, right?
yeah. It's what am I doing to, repeat this pattern? I mean, my main focus at this moment is definitely finding a partner, finding a masculine partner. I think, no, I know, divine union is the only thing, That's like really a goal for me. I mean, well, I'll take that back. My goal in life is to be the highest version of myself, and I recognize that I can only go so far alone. Um,
How long have you been single for, or quote unquote alone?
um, yeah, nice catch there. I've been divorced for 6 years. I've dated a lot in that time, not like anything consistent. Like I had one brief but very intense relationship last year, like a little over a year ago. We broke up. But besides that, it's just been,
And you haven't quite found someone that you really connect with in the ways that you would want, that you could in maybe invest or be more present to a longer term union or relationship.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you're alone. I think there are many women, men as well, but there are many women that are experiencing disconnect in sacred union or long-term committed partnership or like safe, loving, long-term, forever people or my person. And really don't think you're alone in that. And I'm not minimizing your experience, but I just want to let you know that you're not alone. And I see what's happening in the world is that people are settling less. And as a result of that, your dating pool is less, right? It's smaller, I should say.
yeah,
And it can require a lot of energy and, for lack of a better term, self-discipline, commitment to self-love, actually, to stay true to what you need and what you want.
yeah,
And there's an and there, right? And let's explore the and for a second. Sometimes what we think is being in self-love and self-discipline and really honoring our values and our idea of what relationship is it's a cloak for I'm scared to open my heart again. I'm scared to open my heart at all, or intimacy is actually just unsafe. And that's a belief that we may hold in our subconscious selves, in our bodies, in our nervous systems. We actually don't believe intimacy is safe. And our earliest experiences of human connection showed us that intimacy can be dangerous. Intimacy isn't necessarily, closeness can't be trusted, right? And that translates to our adult romantic partnerships as well. So I'm going to pause there for a second. I'm going to ask you something. And I could just be talking garbage here. Does any of that ring true to you?
I mean, definitely, I think so. Like my relationship last year, when we broke up, I did recognize, right? Because you say you're like, yeah, I'm ready for like, yes. And then it was just like, oh, when we broke up, it's like, okay, I'm going to reflect on this, right? And it was I recognized so many fears in myself of like, if he sees me, he's not going to love me.
If he sees what? If he sees what, my love?
Just like everything, you know? And that was like honestly really healing for me to like explore that. It's like, okay, yeah, what am I afraid of him seeing or knowing about me, right?
And when you say everything, so I'll ask you another question and we can explore this and really just be in your body with this as well. If he sees me and it appears to be sadness that's coming up, it's fear as well. And so where did you first learn that you are unseeable? Or who did you learn from? Who taught you? Who told you? Who showed you that you're not worthy to be seen, or what is being seen is not of a standard to be seen?
Yeah, I mean, goes back to the childhood family, right? My family was very just like had to receive love, you had to behave a certain way.
Conditional. It's
Yeah, very
conditional.
conditional. That's a good like, or you were only praised and recognized if you get straight A's and like whatever, and then, like anything that's not this
So you're a
level.
perfectionist
Yeah,
as a result of that. Yeah, you got to
do
get it
have
right.
those tendencies for sure.
High performer. High performer, high achiever, perfectionist tendencies, right? We don't have
Yeah,
to label you per se, but you have those tendencies that run in you. And here's the challenge with that. Like you're really touching something actually quite deep. Because when you have to perform, we can call it performative love. When you have to perform to be seen, you lose yourself. You forget who you are because you're wearing masks to appease other people. And if that became a pattern in your life, whether it was appeasing teachers, uncles, aunties, mother, father, siblings, like just to survive and to be recognized, because we all have this fundamental need to be seen, loved, heard, understood, respected, appreciated, and really felt for who we are without inhibition, without having to change, contort, morph ourselves, then you're this little girl and this teenager getting straight A's, maybe being athletic, doing all the things that you need to do to be acknowledged and validated, right? Then who are you? Because that person you're being, sure, it's for you, but it's really for other people. And the hit of adoration or validation or well done only lasts so long. And then you've got to go back to wearing the mask. And all of a sudden you've got all these masks that you're wearing, and somewhere underneath is you. And so when you are with that man last year, and look, the intensity maybe tells us something else about the dynamics of the relationship, and we can explore that, right? Like it's more of a trauma bond, but that trauma bond probably brings up this, right? It brings up with like, oh, I don't actually want to be seen. Like I think I do. Like I mean, I do. I want intimate, loving, connected relationship and union. But who wants that? Like your soul and your being, your authentic self, right? Your personhood, if you like, that yearns for that, deserves that, desires that, sure. But your personality is really scared of that. Your ego doesn't want that, because your ego doesn't want to be seen, because it's so conditioned to not be seen. And so you have an opportunity, like in this moment, not to even be in generalities like all of me. I don't want to all, like what parts of you don't want to be seen? Is it the parts that are petty, that are jealous, that, what are the parts?
I mean, I think a big thing, honestly, something that was, so when I was married, it was not, not the right relationship, not the right partnership. And I just became a shell of a human being, and like, I gained a ton of weight, and like, I've lost a lot of weight in that time after since the divorce. And like, I feel very comfortable with myself and confident, and I'm healthy and all the things. But there was definitely a piece of that, like, if he knows that like I was overweight, like, that's not lovable, right? And it's like, obviously there is a piece of me that feels that, like, logically it's like, no, that you're still lovable, but it's like there's definitely much like a fear there.
Were you ever body shamed when you were younger?
I mean, I don't recall anything like specifically, but I think it probably just more of like a cultural, like indoctrination of
Having
beauty.
to look a particular way, yeah.
Yeah. So that was definitely something that I recognized. Also just like a feeling of like too muchness. Like I can be very loud and exuberant and like excitable and excited. And
So where was that part of you muted?
I mean, looking back, I'm like, I was actually thinking about this morning. I was like, I was very, and I am at the same time, like I am very much a peaceful person at the same time, but I can be very big and loud and exciting and, that sort of energy.
Was that ever suppressed or judged when you were growing up?
I mean,
Did you self-suppress that because you thought it wouldn't be accepted in your environment?
yeah, I think honestly, because I grew up in a big family, so I have 5 siblings, and so like we kind of had to be loud, and like we are a loud family, and you kind of had to be loud to be heard. And so like I remember this just my ex-husband. He's like, "You're so loud. Like, why are you talking so loud?" And other people have said that, just in. It's like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling. I'm just talking."
You're just
This is
excited.
how I talk.
So there's been times where people that have been significant to you in your life have commented in what you maybe have perceived to be a judgmental tone around your excitability, your loudness, just your expression. Forget about labeling anything, just your expression, right?
Yeah.
The way in which you express. And outside maybe the family dynamic, it's not seen, it's not that it's not accepted, it's not related to. And so I'm curious, the story that you've told yourself about that And when did you tell me a little bit about your marriage, right? Like, did you get married very young?
I did,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I was
how old were
married.
you when you got married?
I was 21,
Okay, so you're very young, very
very young,
impressionable, all
too
right?
young, yes,
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
in my
I hear you.
opinion, for
So
me.
was he? Well, how old was he?
He was, he's 3 years older than me,
Okay.
so we were both very young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're both quite young, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, getting married at a young age, we can often, well, we're not really, look, our identity is changing at all times, and we are evolving at all times. And at a young age like that, where we're very impressionable still, where we're very young in our adult lives, especially out in the world, and we make a big commitment like marriage, we can, especially a woman towards a man, can put a lot of weight in that, right? And a lot of it can carry a lot of perceived importance and value, and there is importance and value to it. And so, if he's critical of you, or if he's shocked by your expression, do you consider yourself a people pleaser in any way?
I wouldn't say like full blown, but I definitely definitely am aware of like, oh, I don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
have to
when
watch.
we're a high performer and a perfectionist, it usually begins for others, and then it can transfer into us. But there's an element of minimizing self and maximizing others as part of the masks that we wear, right? And so if he's critical of you, and you want to make sure that he sees you a particular way, because that's a pattern for you as well, and that's familiar to you to be that way, to see you as not how he's seeing you in a critical way, like aka loud and whatever, then you'll change yourself. But you're dishonoring yourself in that process, and you can build resentment towards yourself. And there's just more contortion and changing and confusion that takes place, right? And so when you're not being you in the world, you're attracting people that don't match to the real you. And so that's not sustainable. So the relationships that you have, they either won't last, or if they do last, they last with you forcing it to last, and it becomes very uncomfortable and very dishonoring for you. You build resentment, you can build anger, it takes a lot of energy. It's a hard time maintaining that persona that's not you. But the challenge is, like, how do we be ourselves when we have spent a lifetime not being ourselves? And so part of the answer, if you like, is, and the exploration is, can you surround yourself with people that see you and just appreciate, love, and adore you for who you are, and start to get that feedback from relationships and people, not just intimate romantic partnerships, but just people in your life. That becomes very empowering, and it becomes more inspiring for you to just be more of yourself, like quirky, loud, obnoxious, whatever it is, however you describe yourself. Like, I'm curious, like, can you even describe you, the various facets that are you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Go on then.
there's so many things.
Of
There's
course
so
there are. You're
many.
human. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have varied interests. Share.
Yeah. I
Please
mean,
allow me to see some of these parts. Share them with me.
I think I'm very emotional. I feel I'm not emotional in like a just I feel very deeply.
You're an empath. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I love to laugh. Laughing is my favorite thing. A lot of people tell me that like you make me feel like the funniest person in the world because I will just laugh so loudly and like fall on the floor, just like very over the top. I do flowers for a living. I own a floral company, so I love to create beauty. I would love to make the world a beautiful place.
Pause there. Just close your eyes if you're okay to do so. And just be with what you just said. I love to make the world a beautiful place, and I love beauty. Because that brought up some emotions in you. So just stay with that for a moment. Breathe slow, breathe into the places where that emotion lives. Maybe it's your chest or your belly. Maybe it's your lower back, your hips. Maybe it's your throat. And just breathe into those places really slow. I love to create beauty into the world, for the world, with the world. Just share what's happening in your interior world right now as you're connecting to that part of you that really loves to create beauty in the world.
Feels expansive. Like I do feel very lucky in that sense of like I do feel like I have a purpose, a mission of like whatever. It's like this is what I'm meant to do, like bring beauty into the world. And I feel honored, grateful, just blessed, like all the things that it's like one that I'm 31 and have found my like I feel like I have a mission or vision, purpose, and that it gets to be that, right? That it's like I get to bring beauty into the world as like my job, right? Like that's so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a big feeler. That's a really beautiful thing. And if that's too much for someone, then they're not your person. Like it's as simple as that. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not doing anything wrong. They're just not your person. So you said you've been dating a lot the last few years, right? Last 6 years or so. What is it that hasn't quite landed for you in some of these men that you're dating? What is it that you feel is missing? Because I'll say one thing to that. It's often what's missing, what we perceive is missing in others is either directly or indirectly something that's missing in ourselves.
Absolutely. And like I've thought about, it's like one thing about me as well. I do feel like I have an elevated capacity for unconditional love. Like I really do feel that I see people and I can see them and like accept them and not need for them to change anything, right? And I feel like my pattern has been kind of attracting men that like need that need the healing or the help and the love. And like I am so happy to do that. Like I'm happy to love you. Like if that's the only time that anyone has ever loved you, like then I'm so happy to do that, to like give you a sense of what that feels like, right? And what that looks like. And it's just been like that kind of like, oh, not someone meeting me, right? Just like someone that I can help and love. And I'm so happy to do that, really. But it's like, but I want a partner,
You want an equal, yeah. So let me clarify a couple of things. I think you're onto something here. So it sounds to me that you're caretaking you end up moving into a role of caretaker as opposed to nurturer, right? Is that part of what's
It's
happening?
not even that I feel like I'm like mothering or like it's not even that. It's just like I again, this is a story I tell myself, maybe there's other things, but it's like I genuinely feel like it's like and I genuinely have had several men tell me it's like I've never like I see myself differently when I'm with you. Like I don't, like things like that. It's like just by me
But
being
you're
with
not
you.
you're not being loved in the non-judgmental ways that you're loving. Is that what you're saying?
It's not even that I think it's just like they're like, "Oh, I like again, this is the most of the pattern has been like this is too much. Like I'm just
Too
going
much
to
love, too much
yeah,
care and affection.
too much, yeah, too much whatever." And
So
it's like
you're
I'm
so
just going
you're
to
if you were to sum that up, you're and I don't mean to be reductionist here, but you're saying that you're attracting men generally, like there's a pattern of attracting men that are coming back to you and giving you feedback of either you're too much or this is too much. This intimacy and so forth is too much for me at this point. So and they're unavailable to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's like one of two. Either like I've had like I'm not ready for this, like I can't handle this, and just like complete like shut off, shut down, like goodbye, you know.
So attracting either way. You're attracting emotionally unavailable men.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And what do you believe and feel that is telling you about you?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like I really do try to like look. I really firmly believe it's like I am the creator of my reality. I am in control, and like I only have control over me. So like, what am I creating? I'm creating this reality, so what is my part in it, right? And it's like I keep coming
How
up
will,
like, I don't know.
yeah, sure. Let's explore it. Let's explore it. Let's explore it in some indirect ways because I want it to land for you as opposed to me telling you what I think or what I see. And sometimes I will. It's preferable that you arrive there at yourself. It's going to land in a very different way in your nervous system and in your psychology, right?
Mhm.
So explain to me if you don't mind, and maybe in three to five words, explain to me the relationship you witnessed between your mother and father.
uh, Unaffectionate, cold, just like tolerating, just yeah.
Are they still together?
They are, yes.
How's their relationship now? It's much the same?
Oh, it's worse, honestly. Now
Oh.
they're just like, like there's so much resentment and just the way they talk to each other. Just, ugh.
And when you were a little girl, and even a teenager, like you noticed that then you think when you look back at your life, you notice maybe you weren't saying those exact words back then when you were 7 or 12 or whatever, but you noticed
Yeah,
that you got the sense because you're a feeler, right? You're an empath.
yeah,
So you noticed that.
yeah, 100%.
So do you think in your own life, I think there's like one of a couple of things happening, but let me just keep asking the question here. Do you think in your own life, maybe you made a decision to just commit to not being like that, right? And to actually be affectionate and loving and caring, and you have a beautiful open heart that's very evident and clear, and it's contagious. Actually, it's like it's a really like for me personally, if I'm just to speak for myself, like I want to be around your energy more. Like I want because it's just very, it feels very genuine and very real. But I just want to give you that feedback. I know we're just here on screen, so it's a little different. But I'm more curious. Like, oh, let me be in this person's physical energy field. Like, I want some of that love. I want some of that excitement about life and clarity that you have. At 31 years of age to be in your vision of creating beauty for the world. And I think you do it in an amazing way. I mean, flowers are, aesthetically so beautiful and so appealing, and they evoke so much within us, depth and richness. And you know that you're more than a florist, obviously, but you get that.
Yeah.
But I think maybe like in making that unconscious commitment to yourself, it's almost potentially gone the opposite of what your parents were, but even in a quote unquote unhealthy way, where maybe it's not that it's too intense for other people, but you're so committed to not being what your parents were that the intensity is really high really quick. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm curious, does that land for you?
I mean, it's so easy for me to love people and like, yeah,
Yeah.
just dive right in. Like we mentioned,
Yeah.
like that my relationship last year was just like it was like 3 months, like not, and we're like we're getting married. Like that was very like it was
But
very
that's not really a pattern for you. That was a fairly new experience, right?
yeah, no.
So
But I
that,
mean,
yeah.
just in terms of like I can literally go on one date with someone and be like, I don't want to be your partner, but I love you, right? Like I can, it's very easy for me to just like see people and love them and like so it is very easy if someone's gonna like reciprocate that at all. I'll be like, hell yeah, let's go, you know? Um,
So stay with this here because again, like notice what's happening emotionally when you're speaking about love and you're speaking about loving people and accessing your heart. This is another example of you loving really deeply. So, the other thing that I was going to say is that there's nothing unhealthy about how you love, right? And that I'm going to say something that I hope lands in the way that I intend it and will clarify it. But most of the world isn't ready for the kind of love that you have, my dear. And that can be a really lonely place to be. Right? That doesn't mean that you're never going to have love or you're never going to experience the love that you desire and deserve and the reciprocity. It absolutely does. You can and will. But the love that you have, like the intensity in which you love and the beauty and the beautiful ways in which you love, like most of the world doesn't have access to that. Most people just don't. They're so scared of that within themselves. And I'm not going to ask you to numb yourself or contort yourself or mute that love. I would not ask you that. I would not, that is not the coaching or guidance or advice I would give you. Um, what I will say though is check in with yourself when you're in relationship, like when you're dating, when you're learning about new people. and check in with where they're at. And you don't have to not be you, right, at all. Check in, consider not only your needs and the way you express, because remember, like part of your, we call it a wound or a pattern, whatever you want to call it, was you know really contorting yourself a lot growing up, and so that's why I'm not saying do that, and I wouldn't, but it is checking in, and maybe it's also sharing. It's just love for so many people can be so overwhelming because so many people are starved of love. My guess is, how were your parents with you? Were they sort of cold and distant with you, or were they really loving and warm? No,
And like,
didn't think so.
I remember 2 or 3 times my dad like ever hugged me and
Yeah,
like said
yeah,
I love you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I literally tell my daughter, I don't know, maybe 100 times a day, how much I love kissing her always, and
I
just
know.
here's my point, right? Is that again, like I think you made a decision to say that's not the life I'm living, and you could have easily, because the majority of people would in your situation, just be what you were exposed to, cold, loveless, distant, and then be that in their lives, yearn for intimacy, but not even be able to access that. But you said, nope, I'm going to love big because that's what life is about. And that's just very confronting for most people because most people have grown up similar to you in different ways, in their own ways, but loveless and distant and cold, and intimacy being unsafe, maybe even coming with abuse and confusion about caretaking and love, like all of that. But you said, no, I think unconsciously more than anything, is like, I'm going to love big and open my heart. And that's a gift, Sarah. That is such a gift, relationally, intimately, for the world, collectively, individually. Like, it's just such a gift. And I just would want you to keep being in your gift. It's just, again, it may feel like what you're feeling is like you may feel really isolated. Like, you're not broken, my love. There's nothing wrong with you. I hope you hear that. I think you are, like I feel you are, like just by how you're responding. There's nothing wrong with, like, I encourage you to keep loving big. Like, keep loving in the ways that you want to love, and being a stand for love, and like a commitment to adoring people and caring for people and nurturing yourself through that. And also at the same time, as you're growing and maturing, like you're learning to check in with people. Because just because people may feel unlovable or may not be able to receive the love in the exact ways that you want, they may be able to get there, right? And you also may, and this is the beautiful part about being sovereign, you also may say, no, I'm not really settling for anything less than what can accept me, and accept the love that I have. Because the other thing I want to say is, because you notice I've been saying most of the world, most of the world. Most doesn't mean all.
Yeah.
And there are humans out there that are waiting for love like this to be honored and cherished in the ways that you do. In the things that you see, because you're seeing something in people that others can't see. You're feeling something in people that others can't feel. And you're loving from that place. Do not stunt that. Do not block that. Do not mute that. And I also get the pain of, I feel lonely in loving so big and not being met. And that's sad. And I'm sorry for that. And I just don't want you to give up loving. I don't want you to just like, ugh, and become despondent and then just start changing yourself and loving less because, nah, fuck that. That's not you. So if I was to give you advice, I would say keep being you. You're not broken. You have a really beautiful gift. And people that are ready for that, and there are people that are ready for that, are craving that gift and want to give it back in very similar ways, and probably have a lot to learn from you as well, and that's the beauty of relationship. We can learn with and from each other, and through each other, being in each other's presence. I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to ask you what you're feeling and what you're hearing me say.
Assured is probably a good word. Just like peaceful. I think it is just like I recognize what you're saying. Like most people aren't ready, and it's just like okay, like I think after so long, it's like, am I like, yeah, is it me? And like, of course I want to grow and I'm so open to like any, like, yes, all the shadows, like, let's get it, let's see it and work on it. But it's like, yeah, it's just like most people aren't ready and that's okay. And like, I don't need everyone to be ready. I just need one person. That's literally what I tell myself. Like, I just need one
It's true,
person.
but it's true. It's actually
Yeah.
really true. I mean, unless you want to be in non-monogamy and you want
No,
multiple
that's
male
not
partners,
my vibe.
yeah, which complicates things and can equally be very beautiful in all the different other ways. But yeah, like you said, you only need one person.
Yeah. It's like, just where is he?
Yeah.
That's the one
Well,
thing.
it's a great question. Where is he? You notice him more and more, and you'll recognize him in greater capacities with greater efficacy, and you will quote unquote find him as you continue to even more constantly and consistently commit to who you are. Because then you can only attract from that place, because where you've largely been attracting from is some level of contortion, right? Some level like, oh, because you know, like, oh, my love's, you think, oh, my love's too big, and so I'm going to mute it down, dim it down a little bit. But then, and you're attracting that kind of person. But then when they come into your life, you can't help being you, and you love big, and they go, and then it reinforces. So you're in this internal tug of war and twilight zone of like, where am I? Who am I? I want to be this person, but I don't necessarily want to scare people off, but I do want a relationship. And it's like, put it all down. Put all the chaos in the mind down and just love and just be you. And there's an and there as well, like, and feel the other people that are coming in. Feel what their needs are as well. But that doesn't mean you contort yourself at all. It may actually mean you just say no to the potential relationship faster, actually. Like even more deeper self-honoring.
I cut people off pretty quick.
Yeah.
I do get a
And
sense,
again,
like, I can sense people pretty
yeah. And that's the place where I
easily.
think it's coming from. I don't think it's coming from, you're scared of intimacy. I think you're clear. Look, you could have come here today and presented with all of these quote unquote wounds and unresolved traumas and patterns of relating that really pushing intimacy away. I don't necessarily get that from you. I get that you probably need to be more self-honoring, continue to like really trust and not judge the bigness that lives in you, the vastness that lives in you, the love and the beauty that lives in you. Like, stop judging that even in micro ways, right? And keep following your path and trusting your path. I think trust is a really big thing for you. And you're 31. Like, you're young. That's beautiful. And I'm not here to tell you, you know, don't move at the pace you want to move, but please don't put additional pressure on yourself. Sometimes that pressure, it adds to contortion. It adds to, oh, let me change myself and let me just settle a little bit. You settle a little bit, you settle a little bit more, and you just keep settling, and you just don't need to keep settling. So what I get from our session today and our exploration is this woman that loves really big and really beautifully in her own ways, and is a little scared of that, and is doubting whether she should be loving that way because you have this story of, oh, 6 years and I still don't have my person. I still don't have my long-term, healthy, committed relationship. And that's not necessarily because you're broken or there's something wrong with you. It's because, quality, you are quality, and what you're offering is quality, is usually a rarity. Again, I'm not trying to inflate your ego here. That's not what I'm doing. That's the last thing I want to do, actually. I just want you to really own who you are, and keep leaning into the trust that's required in that ownership and in that seeing yourself. Like, here's the thing. Like, maybe I'll say this. Like, you see people, but do you really see yourself? And if you're not seeing yourself in the ways that really matter, people won't see you. So you won't get the reciprocity that you're actually desiring. So ipso facto, keep seeing yourself in these deeper, profound ways and really settling into who you are and just owning that in deeper ways. And you observe, people will see you in more profound ways and will be able to receive your gifts in more profound ways. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel gratitude for you. Thank you so much.
Likewise, I feel gratitude for you.
Yeah, gratitude's my.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your emotions are really beautiful and very, very potent. And yeah, there are going to be people that feels too much for. But let me be very clear, that doesn't mean you're too much. This is the mistake we make. So many women particularly, they feel like, because they've been told they're too much, so they internalize that. Well, I'm too much. I have to numb or mute myself or change myself. You're too much for that person. It doesn't mean that you're too much. You're not too much for that person. I shouldn't even say it's their nervous system doesn't have the capacity and the bandwidth because they haven't either done their inner work to be able to hold that, or they're not willing to, or it's just not their journey to hold that. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. You're not broken. So I would invite you to take that into this next iteration of you in the world. Like, I'm whole. I'm lovable. I love loving. And I'm going to continue to do that and be that in the world and be a stand for that. And I'm going to continue trusting what's for me will come to me and is here for me. And I'm going to continue to see myself and be committed to that.
Thank you. I'll definitely keep that in mind and do it and embody it.
Appreciate you very much.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Truly.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here today. Hey, if you're new to this channel, please hit subscribe. It helps us get messages like this to the rest of the world, to people that really need to hear it. Like it, share it personally with a friend, and keep coming back. We'll see you on the other side.